Hi, I want to show you something. On this machine, I'm going to download a file from my app in the cloud. Right now, we're getting fairly decent speeds, but they could be better. Now on this machine, I'm going to do the same download using a Riverbed solution. Notice here that I'm getting much better download speeds from the same app on the same type of machine. It's built identical, has the same bandwidth available, and so on. Also, notice I'm using a SaaS app and a new cloud app. And here's the magic. All these apps are using TLS, and I'm accelerating all of them. With Riverbed, you can easily and securely optimize and accelerate any TLS app across any network for any user anywhere. This is huge. Let me explain why. It's been said that 96 of the top 100 websites default to TLS. Just think of how many applications in your organization are accessed through the web browser. Any of those applications could and probably are using TLS. In fact, it's probably easier to list the applications that don't use TLS. And the reason? Security. Keeping our data private and secure is of utmost concern to pretty much everyone these days. But while encryption protects our data, it also causes us to lose critical visibility, and it complicates acceleration. Now here at Riverbed, we've accelerated SSL and TLS for a long time, but there have always been a few challenges. So let's look briefly at encryption, certificates, keys, and trust. In most cases, when we talk about data in flight, we want it to be fast. So we would want to encrypt using a symmetric algorithm. Symmetric algorithms use the same key to encrypt or decrypt, and we like them because they're fast. But both parties need to have the same key. Exchanging the key can be an issue if the two parties don't know each other. So often an asymmetric encryption algorithm is used to do this. Asymmetric algorithms use a public and private key pair to encrypt and decrypt. For example, if you encrypt something with my public key, I can decrypt it with my private key. So with TLS, we start the conversation with an asymmetric algorithm, and inside that session, we negotiate the symmetric session key. That shared key is then used by both sides to encrypt and decrypt the data in flight. The only issue here is knowing whether we trust the other side or not. Therefore, we use certificate authorities, or a CA. A CA is a trusted third party. For internet sites, there are public CAs. For private applications, organizations will have an enterprise CA that handles certificate requests. In this case, we see the server certificate request was issued to the CA. Now, this normally happens when the server is being configured. The CA digitally signs the request, and the provided certificate, called an identity certificate, is installed on the server. That certificate now identifies this server, and it's validated by the signature of the CA. When our client wants to communicate with the server presents its identity certificate, and the client validates that it's been signed by a CA that it trusts. At this point, the session is trusted. As the TLS session setup progresses, and once this authentication's been done, the two establish crypto ciphers and session keys, and then send encrypted data to one another. Now that's all well and good until you run into a situation where you either don't have information on the certificate authority, or you don't trust the certificate authority to validate the server certificate. That's when you see this little message. You also run into issues when you have devices in the middle that need to see the data to accelerate it or to filter it, or whatever the case may be. But this is all nothing new. Lots of vendors have done this with success, including firewall vendors, IDS/IPS vendors, packet capture vendors, and of course, folks like us that accelerate and optimize the connections and provide visibility solutions. From a technical perspective, this is accomplished by collecting, creating, and distributing certificates and keys to the devices that need to crack those packets open. Now again, this can be done, but it comes with several challenges. You can share the certs and keys, but that's often frowned upon by security and app teams as it expands the risk surface. You can use proxy certs and keys, but often the CA team won't go along with that. And there's also logistical issues to deal with. So here's the easy way to look at it. There's so much involved in making this work, and if one piece of the process fails, or rather if one person doesn't sign off, it doesn't work. Plus, it can take months to choreograph all of this. So, allow me to introduce you to Client Accelerator with SSL Simplification. Client Accelerator is Riverbed software that operates in two modes. The first mode is licensed at no cost, and it simply manages the trust dynamically. Your branch-side steelhead still handles the acceleration and optimization, along with the server-side steelhead. In the second mode, the client can be fully licensed to perform acceleration. This is a great solution for work-from-anywhere users. They'll gain the benefits of acceleration to your SaaS and enterprise apps, either in the cloud or on-prem. Now, how do we accomplish this from a technical perspective? Well, first we install the Client Accelerator software. Now, this can be done using your MDM of choice, perhaps Microsoft Endpoint Configuration Manager or Intune. Once installed on the client, it'll receive policies that you've defined in the Client Accelerator controller. Now, your endpoint is ready to go. Traffic that matches the acceleration policies will be handled by the branch-side steelhead if you're using the no-cost license, or by the Client Accelerator software if you're using the full license. Want to see the benefits? Well, as we saw in the onset of this video, our user experience was drastically different. Here's what it looks like in software. This is the bandwidth optimization report on the client-side steelhead. And it gives us the technical details of how much data we saw come from the client and how much data we were able to optimize and therefore reduce as we send it to the server. As you can see, we've removed quite a bit of data from the network. This is more efficient because we're not sending unnecessary traffic over the wire now. The user sees the benefit in the moment, and the business sees the benefits by means of the overall employee productivity gains without compromising network security. It also involves easy onboarding. So, if you'd like to learn more about Riverbed solutions, feel free to reach out in the comments below, visit us at riverbed.com, or contact your Riverbed representative for a personalized one-on-one live demonstration.